the next step for us is to explain all the screenshots that we got for the address book, stuff that we did in the previous video. So my first screenshot here, let's put a border around this to make it easier to see. My first screenshot here shows the people icon I need to click on. The people icon or button, it could be icon or button, I have to click on to get to contacts. So just like on your phone where you have to click on the icon that looks like a mobile phone, like an actual phone in the hand, or the icon that looks like a person, it's exactly the same thing on a computer, on Outlook. You click on the people icon to get to your contacts. The next screenshot for me, this is going to be showing that I'm in my contacts, but I don't have any contacts yet. So let me make this a bit smaller. So I'm going to say here, let's put a border around this again. I am in my contacts. I do not have any contacts yet. Perfect. That's it. The next one, the next screenshot for me is going to show the actual new contact button. So on here, let's put a border around this. So can you guys please pause the video, go back and explain what your first screenshot was about. Go back again and explain what your second screenshot was about. And I'm on my third screenshot now. So go ahead, pause the video. You don't have to write what I write. Write anything that you want and explain what this screenshot, what this image is showing. So for me, I'm going to say something like, so I'm going to say this shows the new contact button. I need to click on this to create a new contact. That's it. Done. Around this one again, let's put our border around it. And on here, what's this one showing me? This shows me entering details. So as you can remember from my previous video, hopefully, my person's first name was Mr. Amazing and the person's last name was Cool Guy. And the email address was amazingcoolguy@gmail.com. This is me adding, after I've clicked on that button there, this is me adding the contact details. So pause the video, go ahead and enter the details for this. So what is showing here? This is me adding a new contact. Perfect, that should be okay. Contact. And down here is the save button. So the save button is just the thing you need to click on to save the changes. So you've put some changes in, you've added some detail, you need to click on the save button. So let's make this a bit bigger. I click on the save button to save the details of the new person. That's it. That should be good enough. And on my next screenshot, let's put our border around this. Pause the video. At every time I explain anything, pause the video, go ahead and look at your screenshot and explain what your screenshot is showing. In this next one, I'm saying, what am I saying here? Let's see. This shows the saved contact. Okay, this shows the saved contact in my contact or in my address book, That's the official name of these kind of things. It's called an address book, even though it doesn't have the person address in this one. It's your contact list or your address book. So that's me explaining that one there. Let me zoom in again. Scroll down to my next one. Okay, so let me put a border around this so you guys can see it better. In this one, I'm saying my two contacts have now been saved. My two contacts have now been saved. You don't only need to do two contacts. You can do multiple contacts. You can do as many as you want. I'm sticking to two because I don't want this video to get too long. The previous one wasn't that long. So I would say do about 3 or 4 contacts so you can even go back and show them how to delete a contact maybe. It's not something that's required, but it's easy enough if you have an extra contact. So let's say you did 3 contacts. You can simply click on one of the contacts like I've done here, Mrs. Amazing Cool Lady, and you can click on delete. And that's it, it goes away. So for this explanation, pause the video, go ahead and explain this in your screenshot. So I said my 2 contacts have now been saved. That's what this screenshot here is showing. I'll scroll down again, and I'm just showing the same thing again, to be fair, my 2 contacts in my address book. Let's put a border around this, and I'm going to say my 2 contacts in my address book. And that should be it. So can you go ahead, pause the video, have a look at what you've done and explain all your screenshots. Again, this stage down here, let's put a border around that. This is my final screenshot, I believe. Yes. And down here, this is me writing a new email showing my new contacts. So I'm going to say this is a new email showing the 2 new contacts I saved. That's it. That should be more than good enough. So please go ahead, pause the video, go back and watch everything. You know what? Let me explain everything again. Let me just go back to the very top and explain everything again. So you can pause the video at this stage if you want. So my first screenshot, pause the video and have a look at what you have. So my first screenshot is showing the people button I click on. So this is the icon I actually click on to get to my contact section. You can say whatever you want here, but it should be along the lines of you need to go to your emails and you need to click on the people icon. Pause the video again for this part. My second screenshot shows that I'm in my contacts section, but I don't have any contacts yet. I didn't save anyone yet. This is my first time going into it. So I'm going to start adding contacts now. You can say something along those lines. The third one for me is I click on the new contact button so that I can start entering the details or entering the information of my new contact. This screenshot down here, pause the video again. This screenshot down here shows me actually entering the details. So it comes up with a big window and you can enter many details. I only chose to enter first name, last name, and email address. First name, Mr. Amazing. Last name, Cool Guy. Email address, amazingcoolguy@gmail.com. You can enter whatever you want, but again, I suggest you speak to a teacher, a teaching assistant, an adult in school that you can trust. You could probably even speak to your parents. If they give permission, you could screenshot their emails and send it over your assignment. Nothing bad's going to happen, in my opinion, but you should be asking people for their permission to put their details out there. The next one I have is the save button. So you have to click on the save button before you can actually save the details. So that's what I've said in mine here. So pause the video, go ahead and explain what your save button is doing. You can write exactly what I write on this one, to be fair. On most of them, you can write exactly what I write. But if you have something different that you want to say or you want to word it slightly differently, please go ahead and do that. There's no wrong way to do this. My next screenshot shows the saved contact in my address book. So this is my address book. So I'm still in the My Contact section here. I've clicked on Mr. Amazing Cool Guy, and on the right hand side, it gives me all the details. Now I could add more details, but we don't need to. So let's keep it very simple. And I say this shows the saved contact in my address book. The next one again, my 2 contacts have now been added. So I repeated the process and I added another one. So the first one was Mr. Amazing Cool Guy. And now the second one I've added is Mrs. Amazing Cool Lady. You can add as many as you want. I say add about 3 or 4, and that should be more than enough. Down here, I have the contacts again in my address book, just both of them being shown again. You probably don't need to do this one because you've done the other 2, so this should not be necessary, but giving too much is better than not giving enough. You're showing every single stage of what you've done. And then my very last screenshot here shows me writing a new email. So if you go back to your email, pause the video, go back to your email, go to the normal email section where you have inbox, sent items, and drafts. And at the very top, you click on where it says new email and type in the name of the person you saved before. You don't have to type in the email address anymore. You can simply type in the name. Once you type in the name of the person, the details will come up and you can click on it. So you can pause the video, go ahead and try that, and then take a screenshot of the new email you're trying to write, and screenshot that and put that here. That's everything for this one.